In 2021, a country with no football culture, no football history, and no football fans outside its own borders made a decision that will change the sport forever. They decided to buy it. Not a club, not a player, not a tournament, the entire sport. And they have the money to do it. The Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, known as the PIF, controls approximately $950 billion in assets. That is not a typo. $950 billion. It is the sixth largest sovereign wealth fund on Earth. And since 2021, it has been deploying that money into sport at a speed and scale that the world has never seen before. Football, golf, tennis, boxing, Formula One, esports, horse racing. Every major sport on Earth is now either owned by, sponsored by, partnered with, or financially dependent on Saudi money. And most people have absolutely no idea how deep this goes. Welcome to Pitch Money. Today we are pulling back the curtain on the most ambitious and controversial sports takeover in history. And by the end of this video, you will understand something that the sports media almost never talks about. This was never about sport. Let us start with the numbers, because the numbers are genuinely staggering. Between 2021 and 2026, Saudi Arabia has spent more than $6 billion on sport alone. Not on oil infrastructure, not on building cities, on sport. In the summer of 2023, one single transfer window, Saudi clubs spent $957 million on foreign players, second only to the entire English Premier League, a league with 20 clubs and over a century of financial infrastructure. Saudi Arabia, with 4 state-owned clubs, nearly matched it in one window. Cristiano Ronaldo, $213 million per year, the highest-paid footballer in history. Neymar, $90 million transfer fee plus $100 million annual salary at Al Hilal. He played 7 matches in 18 months before injuries ended his contract. Cost per match, $42.8 million. Karim Benzema, Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino, N'Golo Kante. Name after name after name, pulled from the world's best leagues and placed in a desert competition that barely anyone outside Saudi Arabia watches. By 2025, total foreign player investment in the Saudi Pro League exceeded $3 billion. $3 billion on players. In a league that loses hundreds of millions per year. In a league where the average attendance is 7,880 spectators. In a league that has failed to secure a single major broadcast deal in Europe, the United States, or Latin America. So the question that nobody in mainstream football media is asking loudly enough is this: why? Why would a country spend $3 billion on a product that nobody is buying? The answer is not football. The answer has never been football. The answer is Vision 2030. In 2016, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, known as MBS, launched a plan to transform Saudi Arabia from an oil-dependent economy into a diversified global power. The plan is called Vision 2030. The budget behind it is the $950 billion Public Investment Fund. The strategy is simple. Use sport as a tool of soft power. Use global attention, the billions of people who watch football, golf, tennis, and Formula One, to change the conversation about Saudi Arabia. To move it from being known as the country with human rights abuses and oil money to being known as the country that hosts the World Cup, signs the biggest names in sport, and puts on the greatest shows on Earth. It has a name. Critics call it sports washing. Saudi officials call it strategic diversification. Whatever you call it, The numbers show it is working. Newcastle United, one of English football's most beloved clubs, purchased for £305 million. Since the takeover, Newcastle have spent over £430 million on players alone. The club now carries Saudi state-owned companies as shirt sponsors, stadium sponsors, and training kit sponsors. Every time Newcastle appear on a Premier League broadcast watched by hundreds of millions of people globally, Saudi Arabia appears with them. LIV Golf, a rival to the PGA Tour, built from nothing, with approximately $2 billion of PIF money. The project lost $244 million in 2022 and $394 million in 2023. They did not blink. They kept spending. Because LIV Golf was never meant to make money. It was meant to put Saudi Arabia on television screens in the United States, the world's most valuable media market, every single weekend. The Aramco deal with FIFA, $600 million for a 4-year partnership as a FIFA major worldwide partner from 2024 to 2027. Aramco is the Saudi state oil company. FIFA is the governing body of the world's most watched sport. Saudi Arabia is now literally written into the fabric of world football's financial structure. The 2034 FIFA World Cup, awarded to Saudi Arabia despite significant human rights concerns raised by Amnesty International and other organizations. The tournament will require billions in infrastructure investment and will place Saudi Arabia at the center of the global football conversation for the next decade. And the PIF has secured at least 910 sponsorships across global sport. 910. The man who runs all of this is Yasser Al-Rumayyan, PIF governor, chairman of Newcastle United, chairman of Aramco, effectively the head of LIV Golf, chairman of multiple other Saudi sporting entities. He has been described as holding no fewer than 22 key roles in Saudi Arabia's sporting empire simultaneously. He was spotted recently alongside Donald Trump and Elon Musk at UFC 309 in New York. Saudi Arabia is not on the sidelines of global sport. It is sitting at the table with the most powerful people on earth. 3 things that every football fan needs to understand. First, the talent drain is real, and it is accelerating. When the Saudi Pro League can offer any player on earth 3 to 5 times their European salary with 0 income tax, every player in the world has a price. Second, the 2034 World Cup changes everything. FIFA has secured Saudi Arabia as host of the most watched sporting event on earth. That legitimizes every investment that came before it and every investment that comes after it. Whether you believe sports washing is effective or not, hosting a World Cup is the ultimate proof of acceptance by the global sporting community. Third, and this is the part nobody is talking about, Saudi Arabia is running a long game. The current phase, from 2021 to 2025, was described by Saudi officials themselves as the heavy investment phase. The medium-term phase, from 2026 to 2030, is about building sustainable revenue streams and a genuine global fan base. The long-term phase, from 2030 onwards, is about profitability. They are not trying to win now. They are buying time, building infrastructure, changing perception, and they have $950 billion of patience. The question for world football is not whether Saudi Arabia is serious. They clearly are. The question is whether the sport's governing bodies, FIFA, UEFA, the Premier League, are willing to draw any lines at all. So far, the evidence suggests they are not. Money, it turns out, does not care about principles. Whether you see this as the greatest disruption in football history or the greatest threat to it, one thing is certain. The game you grew up watching is changing. Not in 10 years, not in 5 years. Right now, in real time. And the people making those changes are not club owners or coaches or players. They are governments. That is pitch money, the business of football that nobody else is explaining. Which side are you on? Is Saudi Arabia saving football or destroying it? One answer in the comments. I read every single one. Subscribe, because next week we are going inside the story of Conor McGregor, the man who turned 2 fists and a sharp mouth into a $600 million empire, and the financial decisions that made him richer than almost every footballer on earth. See you then.